Yo, what is going on, my fellow weebs? Chrono here and welcome back to the channel. So today we have another update video for you guys. Pretty much just the usual thoroughfare. We're going to go through everything you need to know. I would say post maintenance, but there was no maintenance as they've made my intro now substantially more difficult than it usually is. However, if you do like these types of videos, you don't like to read through this information yourself, I would appreciate if you toss a like on the video, maybe subscribe if you want to keep up with more. And yeah, terrible intros aside, let's get started with today's video. All right, not a lot to go over here today. We're just going to jump directly into things, but just a quick disclaimer in case you were new to the channel, you're asking yourself, why would I sit here and listen to this person read me all this information? You're absolutely correct. Head over to ngs.pso2.com. Scroll on down. Everything important has a little red dot next to it. You see there's not a whole lot here today. Yeah, that's pretty normal for some in-between patches. Just know that if it has a red dot, it's relatively new. It's also dated, so makes life easier for you, but you don't have to worry about that. Just look at the pretty color and you're good to go. But if you don't like to read the information yourself, you'll have someone read it to you, what you need to know. Kick back, relax, and let's go over it. Starting things off, we have the updated LTQ. So this is going to be the solo version of Cool Summer Dash. This is also going to be the ARCS record. So make sure you put in enough time, hopefully last week. And this week you'll be able to get a pretty solid time. It's going to be a bit of racing, a bit of fighting, all mixed together across this specific mission. So fingers crossed you guys get some good times. And of course, yeah, it says ARCS record, blah, blah, blah. New title tasks, all that good stuff. Make sure you go ahead and grab all the extra rewards you can go ahead and get a hold of during this event. They are also reviving an AC scratch. So it is the Summer Splash Swimsuit Revival. As you know, swimsuits come back. In case there's any that you have missed, I always say don't purchase these things when they're off season, not necessarily off season, off summer, but whenever they're not available to be grabbed from the scratch or recently grabbed from the scratch, because they will always be expensive. Also, a lot of times these revival scratches tend to be pretty solid for pulling on if you're someone who's trying to invest in game for Meseta, to make Meseta off. And granted, always tell people don't invest money in game to try to get Meseta. It's not really always a great investment to make, as it is volatile and you can't count on anything in particular. You could be someone relegated to get nothing but type 1 outfits. Usually these revival scratches tend to be the better ones because they're ones that people aren't all pulling on. Usually they're just waiting for the outfits to come back. So there's not really a high investment of purchases, at least in these scratches. So pretty safe to go into, but just do so with caution. We also have 2 AC support item selects at the exact same time. So we have an AC support select for, I believe these are Lars augments. Yep, Lars came back around. So if you haven't grabbed your Lars augments, now was the time to pick them up. Pick them up again while they're in season. Not buy them off season, as they are substantially more expensive. And if you were going to invest some money, they did increase the drop rate for the parfait augments. They doubled them in the scratch this time around. Granted, they were already very low. We'll go over the exact rates because they show them in game, but they doubled them this time around for them. So your odds are twice as good as they were previously. On top of that, there also is a prize slip for your 12th draw. So if you do a single 12 pull, you actually get to pick pull. So this is actually pretty solid. This is probably how they should really do these AC scratches to make money, because now it becomes honestly a pretty worthwhile investment to at least pull a 12 pull and guarantee that you get at least one item that you really want. So, and if you get super lucky, you might get more in that 12 pull, who knows? But as always, spend responsibly. And if you are totally free to play, don't want to spend money on the game, you do not need to. Absolutely stay free to play. You'll make all the money you need to make. SG support, this is the usual SG support stuff. We'll go over it when we get into game. Nothing too crazy here. Usually it's more about catch-up stuff or getting S augments if you absolutely need them for things like a Bandak. However, it has been power crept technically, so you really don't need to go a Bandak, but in case they do decide to change things up, just keep that in mind. And that's it for new content at the very least. All we have is the LTQ popping in at the very moment, and of course the things we had from last week. There's also a summer illustration. That's very cute. Manon, Ina, and those are in the background. All this is very cute stuff. Crawford, all that niceness. That's pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and hop into game really quick, go over the scratches and stuff like that, take a look at the LTQ, and send you guys on your way. And here we are in game, and here I am showing off that I haven't been always logging in every single day, but it is what it is. No big deal. Okay, slow down a little bit. Oh, that's right. They do the one-time free pull. We'll see what we get.
Right.
And we get, that actually might be worth quite a bit. I think I might have gotten pretty lucky there. Don't know 100%, but we'll see. And then of course we have the AC support. So we can take a look at what's listed in here. So usually these are 0.5. They're 1 now. Okay, cool. That you have a 1% chance. Still not great, to be perfectly honest. And there's really only one parfait you really care about, which is the def parfait. All of them are pretty solid, but the def parfait is really what you kind of want to go for. It does have a little bit less value these days as we're getting very, very high on our potency floor, but it is still the top damage option. The rest of them are still really solid. It's just the same potency without the potency floor. But realistically speaking, it's 1% potency floor. It's not going to make or break your overall build. So if you want to go for, you know, a parfait setup with all Gua, that's totally fine. If you want to go for Stas B, that works as well. The only thing that matters realistically is that you have a Lars on. So get something that equates to your damage type and you're good to go. And as I mentioned, if you look at the first 12 pull is directly a support. That's actually really cool. When's the next one? Let's see. They do put the second one at 42, which is about where it usually is. I think it's normally at 30-ish, maybe. But you do get a preset substitute level 2. So this is a guarantee level 3 fixa. This is a guarantee level 4 fixa. So pretty solid on these two here. Let's take a look at the... Oh, that's right. This is still going on. So the Roddy is still available for another week. At the same time, the Lars is available right now. So these are actually, like, if you need to get your Roddy and your Lars caps, like if you're getting your capsules, now is the time. If you invest money in the game, not a bad time to do. As you can see here, the usual is 30 for the first pull, but they did 12 and 42, which is honestly basically the same thing. If you take out the 42, it would just be 30. So not bad at all. But yeah, if you need to pick these up, definitely the time to do so. But again, like I mentioned beforehand, spend responsibly. Let's take a look at the SG support. So if you take a look here, we've got... Are there no S augments? Am I blind? There are no S augments in here. You know, people complained that S augments were kind of pay to win. I don't know why you'd complain about that in the in the SG support scratch where it originally popped up, and I guess they listened. Though they do pop up in the AC support scratch, which I'd argue is substantially worse. Honestly, I would have much rather had them here where we get this for free, but you know, to each their own, I suppose. Nothing really all that important here. Like, yeah, you've got the dominant S's, but there's a better one. You want to use Ultia, honestly, so you don't really care about that. Preset item skill level 4s are okay. Preset skill enhanced success rate 40% is okay. I mean, really, the only reason you pull on this is for everything but these S's here. Like, you want the preset bonuses trying to increase fixes and things of that sort, realistically speaking. And then you only really pull for, like, you don't really care about the ticket, honestly. The ticket's not really that useful. Preset enhancement success rate 100%, really. Like, that's... And the material not required. Basically, the two of these together guarantees you level 5, essentially. You want one of these. This is pretty solid, too. So yeah, I mean, like, it's just you'd pull for the level 5 guarantee, which I might, honestly. We have the SG, and it's pretty worth overall as far as investments go. SG is not something that you really need to continue to hoard. I mean, it's okay to hoard, but it is a free currency, so it's definitely worth its weight in gold. But that's about it when it comes to the scratches. Let's go. Oh, we didn't take a look at the prize. I mean, we did, but I didn't at the same time. Take a look at the count. So Aina and Manon are in the first like 10 and 11. Like, that's not bad. That's okay. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 is interesting. Honestly, this kind of sucks because usually in the first 12 pull, you get these. And this is kind of worth. Nah, but it's AC, so it's worth a bit less, honestly. Preset enhancement, this is pretty solid. So yeah, that's the guaranteed level 4 again there. It's not bad. It's okay. I don't see any camos in here, so at least not camo scamming you. The fact that there is a base PSO2 accessory at 39 is a little crazy. And another one at 54. That's a little wild. Okay, so there's a Magis Gigas S here, which that's a little rough. But it is what it is. It's just makes life a little easier for whales if they want to try to go for a Bandak, but you really aren't going for Bandak these days. It's not really something you should be doing anyway. Let's take a look at the LTQ. So we have the solo variant, we have the regular one, and then the solo variant. Our solo variant is up. Of course, you have your first time reward clears, all that good stuff. It doesn't look like there's anything different here. So you can get Legendios as well as Krez here. Both solid choices. Yeah, nothing too crazy. It's pretty much the same stuff, right? Yeah. Kind of wish they took this time, they used this here, not to go with featured, but to just go with like all rewards. Kind of defeats the purpose, since this button just shows you what's already on the screen. I've mentioned this beforehand in previous videos. I'm babbling. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's just wanted to make sure I mention all these things here for you guys. Yeah, it pretty much covers everything. Let me do one more once over and we'll go ahead and wrap up the video. And I kind of hate that this is the way this works out, but it's also worth mentioning that technically, since this is the 13th, there is a drop rate boost and a drop item preset skill rate boost campaign going on at the moment. I just hate that this is like in an older article. It kind of confuses people, not to, if they don't know, to check for these things, but just keep this somewhere that way you guys can tell whenever some new stuff is popping up. You see PSO2 Day in the mix. This is coming back around and it's going to overlap with PSO2 Day later on in the month, which is going to be pretty sick. But we have a boost going on right now, so it's going to be really, really good in case you are farming the new boss and attempting to get your land weapon early, or maybe getting the land weapon to sell. Either way, now is a good time to go ahead and farm that. And that'll about wrap things up. If there's anything I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to keep up with more. As always, thank you to the channel members. You guys are fantastic, and I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, my friends. Peace out.